loser!
Flaws in the storytelling is exposed as he is still able to travel forward in time even though the end of the world was supposed to occur. And they actually tackle that later. I thought that they weren't going to, but they do. And that was actually good. I was like, okay, it's like, yeah, you got to watch out where you're going. If you have several people in place that are dependent on each other in the loop or the sequence or whatever it is, or several sequences that are linked together by said person, you better find an explanation that's going to settle all of those things, and if you don't, and I think a lot of those things will be answered in season 3. It'll be interesting to see really what happens there. This will be interesting, like this story and the boys, like these genuinely surprised and satisfied with this story. Somehow the board is disguised as the Midwestern Soybean Society. That's a lot of soy. And somehow Five knows this. To me, this seems like a small flaw, because like, how was he supposed to know that it was... Anyway, Five slaughters the entire board with an axe, delivering the final blow to the fish with the cricket bat. I think it's a cricket bat, and keeps him alive. Ben has become obsessed with trying to possess Klaus's body, describing the torture that he endures by watching Klaus make bad decision after bad decision over and over. So that's like, he has been trapped in this situation, trapped with Klaus, just watching him make bad decisions the entire time. Tension builds as Carl inserts his power into the situation, stopping their plans in their tracks. Allison allows Ray to embrace the future that they have helped create, a future with good changes in place. Although this happens, Allison is evidently still solemn, sad, and lonely. Five is affected horribly by his murderous actions, and he is now finding himself in a time crunch. The handler surprises him with a time limit for him to get out of the 60s. The handler assumes control of the commission after she reveals the horrible tragedy of the Majestic 12's assassination, which she of course orchestrated. Tension between Five and Diego builds as Five reveals to them that Lila was just using him in the first place, and Diego wouldn't accept it. So Klaus finally allows Ben to enter his body, experiencing the things that we all take for granted, because he hasn't been able to experience these things as, you know, as a spirit, as without a body. He can't experience these maybe these sensations that we feel with our, you know, the end of our skin. And that was particularly cool, because that's something that I grew up like in my, you know, at church talking about. It's like our bodies are something that's sacred, because it allows us to be complete. Our spirit and body are complete. And so he is half of himself. He's just a spirit. So he, being reunited with the body at that time and feeling it and like experiencing it for that was like great. That was great. Klaus's acting was amazing there. Vanya and Carl meet, and Carl labels her a disease, determined to stop the spreading of it. So that's their moment. That's their woke moment of showing the evil white man who's against lesbians, calling lesbians a disease, right? That's the moment, the woke moment. That was, whatever. Carl threatens to send Harlan away if she doesn't leave. When Luther tries to convince Allison to trust in their path, Allison doesn't want to risk everything to save everything, not wanting to follow in the footsteps of recklessness, and Luther calls it hope. So she calls it recklessness, he calls it hope. It's kind of a funny, cute moment. Ben exudes kindness and warmth through Klaus's body and is pulled away by Diego. Keeping the fish alive, the handler gloats in her new office and offering Lila a head of security position, and Lila demands her own team. Diego encourages Ben to remain inside of Klaus because they need someone responsible behind the wheel. As Vanya and Five cross paths, they resolve that no one is insignificant. Vanya is in love and determined to bring Sissy and Harlan back with her. And that was great, them crossing paths, Five and Vanya. Two of probably the most powerful, maybe. Two of the most powerful in the group, in this family, right? The tension between them builds as they both flex their powers, and surprisingly, Vanya backs down. That was actually surprising. I thought for sure she was just going to go balls to the wall there, but she's the one who backs down. She's the bigger human at that point, the bigger mutant. Diego and Lila argue with the necessity of lies, and Lila insists that everyone lies, and she was lying to protect him. Diego says that this whole childhood was manipulation, and so the moment of wokeness again, where Allison says the movement is still happening in 2019. They're talking about the the movement that we see currently in current events right now, when it's actually communism. It's not what they're saying it is. So it's just like, no, there's nothing that needs to be done now. Stop saying it. There is, because there's not. You're a famous movie star, TV star, and I'm supposedly the oppressor, and I'm broke. Stop saying that there's still stuff that needs to be done. That's a lie. The movement wants people to feel guilty for their skin color. That is manipulation, if I ever heard it. So that's their movement that they're talking about. That's what they want. They're trying to get people to feel guilty for their race. No one should feel that way. Period. Ever.